Hi, friends. I'm Courtney. I'm a performer, speaker, and a writer. I'm a mama to 3 crazy boys and a super sweet dog. I decided 12 years ago that I needed to create a business that worked for me instead of me working for it. I'm a multi-passionate entrepreneur who may be considered a serial entrepreneur by some, but then I realized that all of my businesses focused on connection, community, and creating an incredible experience. I cannot wait to share with you how to make small but mighty changes in your life to affect your overall well-being and create a life and business you want to get up in the morning for. That's right, my friends. I am the Renaissance Mama. Hi, friends. It's Courtney, the Renaissance Mama, and I am so excited to have you today. And I'm also so excited because I have a very special guest here today. Her name is Danielle Levine. She is a mom, a entrepreneur, a full-time charter accountant, and she's my cousin. Yes. So I have had the privilege of really watching her grow as a person, grow her business, grow her career, and grow her family, doing it all with ease. So I am so excited to have Danielle here today. Danielle, say hello to my audience.
Hi, guys.
Yes. So Danielle, we're just going to hop right on into it then. And I would love for you to tell my audience a little bit of who you are and kind of what you're known for.
So, as you say, I'm a new mother. I'm a mother of 2 now, which we didn't really think was in the cards, but hey, COVID. So we have a 5-year-old and I have a now 7-month-old, and we're learning this juggle at home on maternity leave. I'm a CPA, so I'm a finance director with a media company in Toronto. It's a job that I love. It's a job that I just got a few years ago, and I've just continued to grow my career on outside of the network marketing realm in my finance industry. I'm probably known for being an Arbonne consultant.
You're like one of the first people I ever knew doing Arbonne, and it's been a long time. So I feel like that is definitely what you're known for, that and your full-time gig too, right?
Yeah. I know everyone's like, oh, you're the Arbonne lady. And I'm like, I'm not the Arbonne lady. Like,
you've got so much more than that. You're like the multiple things going on lady.
I know. I'm like how the hell do you get that done, lady? Kind of like you.
Yeah.
But I'm also independent consultant with Arbonne and now an area manager. I have this beautiful team. I'm really loving where this is going. I mean, I really had no idea. I'm sure we'll get into it later, but like at the beginning, I was there 10 years ago. I think at that time it was actually new to Canada. And it's not one of those things that like you have to be at the ground level to really prosper in these businesses. Like I took actually a long time to get there. I did it very slow. I did it very patient, very careful. And this is why I mean, I shouldn't hold it against myself. I know everyone is always like, you know, you've done a really good job. Like you shouldn't hold it against yourself, but we're always our worst critics. So, but yeah, it's.
I have to be honest. I have to be totally honest to my audience. Is one of the reasons I brought Danielle here today is exactly what she just said. She is patient. She is consistent. She was able to grow all these things with her business, her career, her family, but she did it slowly, which I think in our reality, it's not something that happens too often. People expect that really quick result and then they move on to the next thing if they don't get it. Where Danielle has like the ability to keep at it, make these big goals, and eventually make them happen. So I think that is why I wanted to have her here today. And I'm so excited she can make it with all those crazy things going with life. So let's 10 years ago then, why did you think you wanted to be an entrepreneur? I mean, you had a full-time gig, you were super happy with it, life was good. What made you think that like, maybe I want to do this?
Yeah, maybe I want to be you. No. So actually, it's funny because I didn't want to be an entrepreneur. I grew up with my father, as you know, and he always had his own businesses and I always helped him. So I was always behind the scenes and I saw what a real entrepreneurial business looked like. And it was kind of awful. Like it was great, but it had so many risks and it had so much work. And like he had a garage. So I kind of grew up in the garages, like a car buff.
We all did.
I know. You were probably in there too. Mom was in there.
We all worked there at some point.
Everyone was on payroll, sort of. And it's like I was helping him with websites. I was doing his payroll. I was like his HR. I was his customer service. Like it was garbage. I was his sales. I don't know how I did any of this stuff at like 13, 15 years old. But when I got into like managing his finances, I also saw all the loans and like, you know, just how much debt people would go into buying these brick and mortar companies with all this high overhead. So I actually did not want to be an entrepreneur. I went the safe route, as I usually do. And I did the 9 to 5. I did what people said. I went to school. I got the degrees. I got the certification. And what I found was that I was working for like, felt like nothing. I felt like the harder I worked, I was in the same place. And then I was getting paid the same. Someone beside me who I was like kind of lackluster, you know, and you don't get to choose who you work with. And it's like, it was a hamster wheel, right? So it was like working till Friday, and then Friday was amazing. And then Monday sucked. And then you were like, this can't be my life.
Right. And that
what is this?
So
this was years ago.
Life. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Like I know it's really different now.
Yeah.
But so someone introduced me to Arbonne and I was like, a hell no. I was like all ego. And I'm like a CPA. I did all this work. I paid all this money. I have this designation. And like, if you know accounting, I'm sorry, accountants, but we did. Like I was a CA CPA. So we've got like a tier in a made up tier in the accounting world. So I was like, because as soon as my friends know that I'm in network marketing, they're going to stop talking to me. So I did say no, but I did want to help my friend.
Yeah.
And my friend was hosting a business and she said, come to a party and like try the products. And I was like, I'll try your stinking products. I probably won't buy any, but whatever. And then I tried them and I fell in love with them, because this is what happens when you get involved with Arbonne. So I'm sorry to tell any of you, but if you try the products, you're probably going to fall in love with it. And I'm sorry, but you don't have to join the business if you don't want to, but you probably will love the products because they work and they're clean and they're unlike anything we have here in North America, because North America's standards suck. So I'm like derailing, but where was I? See, mom brain, it's still there.
Oh, it happens all the time, that mom brain.
So,
all right. So you started at Arbonne, you said no originally, now you said yes. And that kind of goes right into my next question, because it's been a long process. Like, what has your success with Arbonne been? What has all like, I mean, I know it's a bit of a long story, but maybe the short version of like what is your story with Arbonne has been once you said yes, and how it's all been going.
Yeah. And so let me tell you that, just going back to the other one, when I said yes, it was a what if. It was an okay, I guess. It was, I'm using the products I want to discount.
Yeah.
And I was actually referring people to the person that showed me Arbonne. And at one point it just clicked and I was like, I'm a very bad accountant because I'm now getting this person paid, right, and I'm doing the work.
Yeah. So that makes sense.
That was really why I said yes, because I'm like, you know, there's no commitment here when you're independent consultant. So if it's like, I sell a few things, I make a bit of money, I get my discounts, you know, it's just kind of a win-win. So we'll see where it goes. And I remember starting and I was like, if it brings me $500 a month, like I'm in, like I'll do it. And I also remember at the beginning, just because this is important, I remember giving myself a 10-year goal.
Oh, wow.
Right? Which is weird because most people don't do that.
No, gosh, no. I don't even do that. Like, I'm not a good long-term goal person. I am short-term and then I go from there. My brain doesn't work long-term. So I can't believe you did that. What did you give yourself for the 10-year goal?
Isn't that weird? So, and most people would say, like back in the day, they did a 5-year goal. Like 5 years the thing. And now if you look, people do 3-year goals and they do 1-year goals and everything is shorter and more condensed. But my 10-year was like, life is going to pass anyway. It's not hurting me. It's giving me benefit. It's not all these extra hours that people think it is. Like, you really fit it into your life and maybe a few hours extra a week, but it's your choice depending on how much you want to put in. And then I was like, if in 10 years I don't make it, and that's like figuratively, like you're the choice of what made it, then I will quit and I will leave it all behind. And now I can say that I don't need to do that. Even at like year one, I didn't need to do that, but
yeah.
So anyway.
I love that. That is so incredible. And I totally agree. Like, I can't even imagine creating a 10-year plan. I'm like a 1 year, 6 months, like maybe we'll see what happens when we get there. But I think that's where you and I are different in some ways. You're that planner for sure. I'm more of like, let's go with it. Let's start right now.
But I'm trying to be more like you. So like over this term, I have learned that it didn't always serve me. So obviously it was some benefit that I like to plan and I like to control and I love to like forecast things. It's probably the accounting, but I also needed to just go with it. And I have such a hard time like letting things be.
Yeah.
And I was not doing the new things because they were scary. And I wouldn't force myself to get out of my comfort zone. Therefore, I wasn't growing. So, I mean, that was like one of the best takeaways that I've gotten from this business that I never learned anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Frankly, I learned it for free.
Right?
Because they give you this training.
Yeah.
Like, it's incredible the training that you get with these companies because they're helping you grow.
Yeah.
And it's helped me in my career as well. Like, I hated my career before. I've even gotten forced out of a job before.
Yeah.
Like, it's just been a really depressing environment. And I remember thinking like, as long as it doesn't make me feel like a number, I'm in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, over the last 10 years, it's nothing like I thought it would be. I joined for 500. And then as I kept going, it became less about the monetary goals. I saw my health change. I saw people like they were just happy. And I was like, why are you happy?
It's true though. You've definitely like, cause like I said, I've been able to see a little bit more of it, but definitely more of a lifestyle change for you. Like Arbonne has now, it's just like part of who you are. You use the products every day. You're constantly sharing it. You're like with so many factors. So I think that speaks really strongly about, you know, your products and what you're selling, but who you are as a person too, right? You've really taken on that role as the Arbonne lady.
I'm an ambassador.
Oh, I like that. That's
it's
awesome.
totally different.
All right. So tell my audience a little bit then. I mean, we've told you a little bit of how the Arbonne story has gone, but in the last few months, you have hit some pretty big successes. So can you share with my audience a little bit about that? And with them knowing that this has been a 10-year long process. It wasn't in 2 months that she's making this magic happen, because I think so many people go into things like this thinking they're going to do that. And then it doesn't happen. And they're like, okay, peace out. We'll see you later. But share with my audience your big success recently.
So the big success recently, and for like, no one's going to understand it unless you're in Arbonne, which is what I have now come to see, because I had posted about it a while ago and like heard nothing. And then just recently we got together at a conference and I had to bring all my babies. And I was like, this is a really important conference. I need to be there because I'm going to walk the stage for me and my team. And we've been announced as an area. So it's like, there's 5 levels in Arbonne. Area is the 2nd level of management and the 3rd level in the company.
Yeah.
So it's the top 8% of the company. So, I mean, me and my team are just doing amazing, I think. And it's only because we're helping our clients.
Yeah.
Like we're helping ourselves, we're helping our clients. Everybody is becoming healthier. They're becoming happier. It might just be more purpose. Like I've had so many people join Arbonne just for community.
Yeah.
It wasn't about the money at all. Like for me, a lot of it was community. And a lot of it was my health. Yeah. I was trying to control, like, you know, I was always like fluctuating with weight. I was always trying these fads. I ate all the things. And this is the only one that I've actually tried that has kept me consistently at a weight that I like.
Yeah.
And even like I'm 7 months postpartum and I think I look better than 10 years before my baby.
Right.
You know what I mean? So just stuff like that. But this was a really big goal because it meant that we're now doing over 10,000 a month in our business, which is over $120,000 a year. So like when you think about, you know, and everyone is like, oh, your little lipstick business, like your little side hustle. I know full-time businesses that don't do $120,000 a year.
Yeah, of course.
Right. And like, when you think about it that way, look how many people you've helped. Like,
Yeah.
look how many more people love their skin, are building their confidence, are losing weight. It's not even about losing weight, honestly. It's about those like weight management daily activities that like putting your health first,
And
feeling energized.
yeah, I was going to say probably like feeling healthy, right? Like feeling like, I don't know if, and I take this with a grain of salt, but if you weren't as like healthy and confident and strong as you are right now, I don't know if you could be handling two little kiddos, right? Like,
I know.
hard
Like
work.
this all day.
Yeah, no, cause I even remember after having my second, like I had a big switch in my health because it happened sort of organically, but I'm like, thank goodness I did. Cause I don't know if I could have kept up with everything if I didn't. Like, you gotta take care of yourself.
Like, I can even see the difference now. I was exhausted with Scarlett, and I'm not tired with Chelsea.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's more than double the work. I think people who have more than 2 kids can say that, like, it's not double, it like becomes 10 times because you never had to manage all these things at once.
Yeah.
But like, I don't feel tired. I do have my staple fizz every afternoon. I do have my staple glow shot every morning, you know, but
so in case my audience doesn't know, Fizz is an Arbonne product that's like, it's like a caffeine, you put it in your water, it's amazing. And the glow shots look disgusting, but also is amazing for your body and health. Just because you're saying
they actually taste good.
It's no, it's pretty good. You're just saying, because you're saying these names, so people might not know what they are. They're very good to your vocabulary, but people may not know all the Arbonne words and stuff.
And all of our abbreviations.
Exactly.
You don't have to learn.
All right. So how do you think that you stand out while sharing your business? Because it is a business that, like, obviously a lot of people are doing. I think you probably hit it with the nail as you're creating more of a community, but how do you think you really stand out when you start sharing what you do and why you do it?
I think there's like this really nice, relatable thing that I still have my full-time career because I love it. And that I've kind of built this on the side, and I've shown people ways of making it flexible and making it work for them. So it's not so overbearing. Like, it's not like when you join Arbonne, it's like you're adding another 40 hours into your week. It's like you're adding 10 or less, and it's your choice. So I think I do a really good job at explaining that to people and helping them work it into making it work for them, because that's what it's really all about. But it's also about giving people options. Like, I hear so many times, like, people are like working paycheck to paycheck, like the financial stress that people have. Like, for me, you know, it's a big finance thing, right? This is how it began. This is probably my niche. This is probably where I can help the most. I hated seeing people in that stress, and I wanted to see people live, and I wanted to see people happy. And I think it's also like, people do business with those that they know, those they like, and those that they trust.
You got it.
I mean, you've probably all heard it before, but it was about being, when I say I do something, I do something. Yeah. I might take forever in this new world of babies, but I do it.
Yeah.
I do it ungracefully and not perfect, but I do it. And I think that's really what sets like my team and I apart, is it's that service that's in between, because Arbonne is doing everything for us. They're even doing a piece of the customer service, but your clients are going to work with you. And I have clients that have been with me for all 10 years.
Yes. Yeah.
And I have new clients that come on every month.
That's
so, cool. I mean, there's a reason. And I think it's the service that we give them. And if you ask me what product, like if you ask me for a recommendation, I can honestly tell you every single product.
She's good. Yeah. I'll test her sometimes and she'll be like, oh, you know what? You could do this or this or this. And I find you're very good at like, finding what works for that person, right? Not giving them a blanket. Oh, well, this is on sale or this costs the most, but you really work with everybody to feel like, okay, like she actually took a friend of mine from years ago who hated makeup, right? And you helped her on her wedding day. And by the end, now like loves Arbonne. She's all
oh my God. I know, she's on the team.
Right? So that to me says a whole lot for sure.
And that was the first time I became a makeup artist on her wedding day.
Right. And that's pressure. Really cool. That, right? Like that.
I was so stressed out.
That's terrifying. I don't think I could ever
It's
do
awful.
something like that for somebody's wedding day. Like, no, no, thank you.
It was so cool though. And I think like that's also the neatest thing is that in this business, you meet all those really cool, really supportive, really nice people. Like I've just never seen people like it before.
Yeah.
Even in my own circle, which I'm sure a lot of people can see, is that they don't get the support at home. They don't get it from their husbands or their partners. They're not getting it from their parents, like, or their peers. They're getting it from strangers.
Yeah.
And those strangers are becoming friends, and maybe they're becoming teammates, maybe they're becoming clients, maybe they're not becoming anything, but they're just becoming someone that's part of your social circle. And I think everybody needs it.
Yeah. Oh,
This is
they need it.
like when you talk about like how long I've been in this is why I'm in this.
Yeah.
Because it's that you have to connect with the people that are there to support you. So I think it's always really important that you have that and you've got something to tap into, because like there's always those times when you have those self-limiting doubts, like the beliefs. It's like fear-based, you've been trained, to work 40 years, retire for 20, like live off 20 grand a year. I don't know, but like the numbers just didn't make sense to me.
No, especially the cost of lettuce these days.
What?
It's
I know. I was so mad I had to post it. I was like, what the?
I know. It's like killing me because I eat so many salads and I love them, but I'm like, I'm gonna have to eat something else because I can't pay as much for lettuce.
They're like, eat lettuce, but I'm like, it's too expensive to eat lettuce. So what am I supposed to do now?
It's insane. I think I just need to start like a home garden inside. I don't know, but
like the supplements now cost less than the raw food.
Right? Blows my mind. All right, well, let's get down to it. So you said you have a full-time career, you have a young kiddo in school, you have a new baby. I got to ask you the question because I'm sure you get it all the time, because I get it all the time. Like, how do you have time to do all of this? What is your magic power? That's usually what I get from people. Like, how? What's your secrets? I'm like, there's no secrets. So I would like to hear how you do it all, because I know your version probably looks different to mine. I mean, I was in your never really full-time career. I was always doing like 20 other jobs, but I'm sure it added to the same time as your full-time career. But the young kids at home, the schools, the sickness, the babies, the everything, how do you do all this?
So I think we have to start off with like, everyone has the same 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
But it's about priorities.
Yeah.
And if you want to make it work, you'll make it work. So I think your why has to be strong enough. Like your why doesn't have to make you cry, but it has to make you get out of bed. So if you don't have something that you're working towards, you're never going to do it. Like you're always going to next day it and put it to tomorrow. And something's going to come in the way, and there's going to be a new Netflix episode and you're going to binge that. And like, there's always something. And I've been like really working on time management, because I can get really involved in things and it can kind of like overtake other things that are important. So like, for example, I can do Arbonne instead of cleaning. Oh, because I like Arbonne better. And I can do Arbonne instead of cooking because I also like that better. But I will never do Arbonne instead of my children. Yeah. I like them better. So, and this is where I've been able to actually like put the two together. So like I can be playing with my kids. Like, let's just say they're watching a show or something, and I'll be on my phone and I'm like sending someone a recommended card, or I'm posting something, or like a lot of times I do stay up at night. I do like after they go to bed, I schedule a bunch of things and I post them for the next day. And this is just what works for me, because I don't like thinking about it in the day. Yeah. Like in the day, I have things to do. I just want to be able to do them and not stress about it. And I want to be fully. And the other thing that I do is during the day, I do my work. I now have hired a babysitter. So I was able to do this with one kid. Having two kids meant I had to do something different to make the time for myself.
Yeah. And you do. You got to change. You got to adapt. You got to figure out what's working, what's not. Yeah.
And you know what? Like I did it with one, And you can do it, but I just didn't want to. I just didn't feel like I needed to. And I just didn't think it was smart, because it wasn't just about having the babysitter to help me with my Arbonne business. It was giving me time to work out. It was giving me time to have a bath, to read, to focus on myself, and to build myself back up. And like, I know that a lot of people say they don't have that opportunity, but you need to make yourself that opportunity, because you can, and you will if it's important. Yeah. And if it's not important, you won't. But it doesn't matter. Like, just don't be afraid to ask for help. Like, I think it is that, and it's knowing where to focus your time. Yeah. So it's all around time. But I was also doing all of these different things. And then I'm like, okay, well, what makes more sense? Should I focus my 2 hours here, or should I focus an hour on 4 different things, right? Because at one point I talked to you, I was like, I need to go into social media. I hate social media. What do I do? And then I'm like, I think I need to be on Insta. I think I need to be on TikTok. I think I need to be on Facebook. And you were like, well, where's your audience? And I was like, oh shit, I don't know. Most of them right now are on Facebook. Probably more of them are growing on Insta, but probably none of them right now are on TikTok. I don't know that I get there, but maybe I don't need to get there, because I need to focus on where my audience is and my 2 platforms, and obviously the in-person stuff that I have. Yeah. So I would say it is just about, it's time management and it's the priorities. And it's something that I've really loved about Arbonne and network marketing versus like your traditional models, is you get to choose your hard. Yeah. So like my hard used to be 60 hours a week, commuting 2 hours a day, never making it home for dinner, not seeing my family, having 2 part-time jobs, like to make ends meet. Like that used to be what my hard was. Yeah. And now my hard is asking someone to try skincare. Like from my phone, like on my ass and on my couch.
And not even that, but like knowing what you're giving them is going to help them and possibly change their lives, right? Like it's, that's,
you can't imagine how many stories and testimonials I have of people that like, they hated their skin. And let me tell you, it's a gut health thing. So that's where the real secret is. But like, how many people have tried the skincare and are just like, I used to pay hundreds of dollars. I used to go to estheticians and I never got the result that I wanted. And now using this product over 2 weeks, like I can't imagine the difference. And that's because Arbonne does this gut versus skin and mind body connection. So it looks at everything holistically and it takes it all into consideration. And that was worlds ahead of anything that we had here in North America. And they were doing this 10 years ago. So you can't imagine the products that they come out with now, like the R&D that we have in this company. We have the biggest parent in Europe that is behind all of our products and everything that we do. So, I mean, it's just like, it's premium grade, it's still affordable. And that's why it's through network marketing, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to buy it. Yeah. And more people need it.
So crazy. So I know I've talked a little bit today already about how I totally admire your consistency and the fact that you went in this for the long haul, really. And now it's like happening and it's amazing. And maybe you've already sort of answered it, but like, how did you continue to keep going when like days got rough or you weren't hitting the goals, or you're like, is this worth it? Or you see other people, quitting or stopping, like, how do you still be like, all right, I said I was going to do this, so I'm going to do this. And maybe wasn't it? Because you had that huge goal. You set 10 years, right? You've already told yourself.
Yeah. So I know like there's been more times in my business that I wanted to quit. Like so many. I remember crying to mom. I remember like talking to my friends, like, and my husband's never been on board. Even now, he doesn't care. He's still not on board. But like, I think I can appreciate that, like, he stays home with the kids sometimes when I go out, because he sees it makes me happy. And like, I always kind of make it like once or twice a month I go out. It's a big deal for me. So he helps me. But I think it's really like, it was about that network and having that support system. So hopefully, if you're in network marketing, or if you're thinking about going into it, that you have a team that you trust and that you look up to, and they have mentors. Yeah. Because I have seen, this is like, honestly, the real reason people quit it's because they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And then they ask, like, they don't know who to ask, and they don't have any support. Like, I've had so many people come to our team, like from other companies, because they didn't have that support system in place. So they've lost them.
Yeah.
So I think like this is really good. And you build those relationships. So like, I've got this one mentor, she's an MVP, you know, they say like the 5 people you spend time with is who you're going to end up with. Right. So I'm like, ooh, I like her. I like her. I like her. You're going to be part of my circle now. So sorry. And I think people do it to me now too, right? Yeah. Like they see me as one of the leaders in Arbonne, so they reach out to me, which is so nice.
Yeah.
But I have this thing where I get into my head a lot, and I have to really like work on myself so much. So if you're not working on yourself daily, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Like you've got to be reading the things, you've got to be listening to the podcast. Like it's just so easy to get into these slumps, and it's so hard to get back out.
Yeah.
So you never let yourself fall too hard. So then in the last like few years, what I realize is when I start to feel myself go, it means that I'm not working on my health, I'm not working on myself, or I'm not working on my fitness, and I'm doing things that are not making me happy. So sometimes I have to call her and I say, like, let's just say I had like a bad client interaction. I have a story. I have this one lady, I know, you're going to hate me. I'm never going to be invited again.
I love stories.
I know this one's just really cool, right? The way that it turned out because of the mindset. So this lady, she's a new client. I met her at the post office. You meet people everywhere. So for people who are like, you never meet people, that's bullshit. You meet people every day. So then she becomes a client and I forget to meet her. I'm supposed to bring her product. You don't even have to bring people product. I just did it because she was like really nice lady and I was doing her a favor and whatever. So I'm like, I'm gonna bring you product. And I forgot to meet her. And she called me and she was so upset with me. Like she was like telling me off. She was like, how could you? I came to meet you. You forgot about me. And like, I did, because in all of this, this is when I was working full time and I had a Scarlett and I was working my business too. And you know what I just did? I like brain fart all the time. I'm really bad for that. So I was so apologetic. It didn't matter, you know, and I basically begged her and I said, just please, like, you know, let me talk to you the next day. Let me come the next day. Just forgive me. You know, people make mistakes. So then I called my upline, who's like my MVP, and I said, Colleen, like this lady, she's so pissed. What do? I just fucked it up. Like, how do I get her back? And you know what? She said something like, I don't remember what she said, but she was like, if they're upset with you about that, they're upset about something else. It has nothing to do with you. Like you've got them on a bad day, like something's going on in there, nothing to do with you. And so many times in our business, we take the failure on ourselves, but really like other people's opinions have nothing to do with you.
True.
So it's like, okay, maybe so. And then I think at that point she had called me back and she, you know, we're texting and she said, you know, I'll see you tomorrow. So I set all my alarms. I made sure I was going. I gave her like a little extra gift or something. You know, I said, I'm so sorry. Thank you so much. And this lady, she said to me, you know what? I'm really sorry that I went off on you yesterday, but my son was in the hospital. Oh. And I was like, but in the back of my head, I'm like, I knew it. I knew there was something else. Like it had to be. And then it was just like, I'm so sorry that happened. And I don't, you know, I don't take any, like, don't worry about me. I'm a hard shell, even though I'm not. I don't think anyone really is. But, you know, it was just so like, her son is okay. So thankfully that is okay. She's still a great client. Right. There you go. But it's just amazing how in that moment, if I hadn't had my upline to call, I was crying. She went off on me. I was so sad. I was so disappointed in myself. And she brought me back to you. Yeah. And I was like, okay. You know, you're like telling yourself, you're like, that's nothing to do with me. And even like, you know, Mindy, like my sister, she's like my biggest cheerleader, has nothing to do with Arbonne, like buys a few products here and there. But like, she'll say, just call me. So like there was another date.
Oh, she's your person. She's one of your go-tos. Yeah. You got to have your people to go to. You've got one for this, one for this, one for that. Like you said, you need those people when times get hard, you need to be able to contact them and be like, hey, hello,
help me.
Right.
Help me just a little. And you know what else is really cool about this leaders that I have?
Yes.
They get you to think bigger.
Yes.
So there was this so you're like kind of trained to think small, and almost like people have this weird relationship with money, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, I feel guilty if I have more or something.
Yeah.
But if you have more, you can give more. And she said to me, like, she said, how much do you want to make? And I was like, $500 a month. And then she was like, no, really. And I'm like, okay, if I made $1,000 a month, that'd be super cool.
Yeah.
And then she was like, now add a 0 on the end.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Like, I don't even make that in my real-time career. Yeah. And I worked 20 years to get that.
Right.
And I was like, no, we can't think about that. That's so shady.
It's like monopoly money, right? It like doesn't exist.
I was like, what? But this is for real.
Yeah.
And like people in this business are making this money if they choose to do the do and they're putting their focus in. It's like, no way. But again, if you keep going, you don't know what'll happen.
Yeah.
So they're just there to make you think bigger. And I just think it's so cool because nobody does that.
Yeah. And that's a sign of a really good team and leadership, right? If they're building you and you're building someone else and you're taking the time to build yourself, like, I think that is a huge, huge sign. And especially in the world of like where we're at right now, to have people building you up rather than like cattiness and fighting and competing. Like, I love hearing that. Danielle, I don't want to push us too much longer because we are almost hitting the end, but because I love this conversation so much, I'm going to have 2 more quick questions for you.
I'll be shorter.
All right. No, don't be shorter. It's just such good conversations. I do this every time I have someone on as an interview person because I just love these conversations so much. So, so obviously the last few years has been super difficult on everybody for business, entrepreneurs. What are some of the changes you've noticed with your business? And like, do you find that there's any trends that you think are kind of here to stay, or you're hoping might go back to like pre-COVID, I guess I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. So I think what's really interesting over the last few years is that I dealt with a long time, like not wanting to go on social media, as you know. I don't love it. I don't like the idea of it, but I mean, it is there and it is kind of the world now. So I think like if you're really wanting to grow in that area, you do have to be in it. Like we had a training once that was like, you know, we used to tell you that it was okay. You could do whatever way you wanted. You could do in person, you could do online, but if you wanted to grow, you now have to do a hybrid.
Yes.
And I think it's coming with the real world too, right?
Everything. Everybody has this expectation now. Like every business needs a decent website that they get information from quickly, that they can buy from easily. Social media presence, whether it's every day or once in a while. But I heard a really great thing the other day. Social media is like that intro handshake. And it's like, I guess it is now, because we pick up our phones and you're like, oh, hey, who's this? Right? You get that first hello, first impression, really, right?
Yeah. And like now when I meet people, like they ask me for my card and I give them an Instagram handle.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, you've got to be willing to change with the times. And I think it's also like learning to pivot.
Yes.
Like you've just got to be like, you don't have to do it perfect. I was just like, I can't go online. I don't have a strategy. I mean, that's where you came in. But I did go online by myself at the beginning and I was just like posting like randomly, like trying to figure it out. But like you do figure it out. You should ask for help if you're like wanting to actually focus on that area. But I mean, you don't start being perfect. So I think if anything, it's taught us that those personal relationships are golden. Like if you have a community and you have people and like you do those one-on-ones or those personal meetings, I think those are so special now. But I also love the idea that like we can do a meeting like this right now. Like I'm sick at home with the stomach flu, to be honest.
I know. And thank you for coming on while you're not feeling 100%. That speaks volumes of you, right? Like, thank you for that.
Pam's here this morning.
Her babysitter. This
is how we get it done.
It's pretty incredible what we can do nowadays, but it also comes in that, balance of like what we're sort of expected to do. Right. But
yeah. And like now, like if I want to meet, like I have teammates that are across Ontario that I've never seen in person. We have teammates that are in other countries that we'll probably never meet, maybe. Hopefully we do.
Yeah.
But I mean, only at our Vegas conference when it's international. But, like you never know, just being online and having that reach it's a game changer. And my store is always open. Like, those brick and mortars, they close. Like if I was sick right now, I'd have to close my doors.
True.
Here, I don't have to. And I know, like, even when I was giving birth to Chelsea, like I took a step back from my business.
Yeah.
My business still grew.
Right.
My team was still signing up people. The sales were still going. People shop on their own accounts. Like I don't have to place orders for people. I can if I want to and if they ask me to, but at the most part, they like to do it themselves because it's their control, it's their cards, whatever they want. So, I mean, that was not in our old,
no,
that was not available to us 10 years ago.
True. All right. So last question for my audience. If you have any advice for anyone who's out there, maybe thinking of starting a business either on the side or as their full-time gig, and maybe they're on the fence about it, do you have any like words of wisdom or anything like that?
I think one of the biggest things for me is like this fear of being in the same place year after year. Mm-hmm. So, and it is like the fear of failure, but the fear of regret, I think, is worse. Mm. So if you've got something like in your gut that's like, I really want to try this, I really want to do this, like the why not? And everyone is like, what if you fail? But like, what if you fly? Yeah. What if you do really good? And I mean, especially when you have businesses like this where they're turnkey, you don't have all the risks like I talked about before with my father's business. Yeah. You come in, you probably pay like $50 or less. It feels like some of the companies now are paying you to join. Right. You get a website and like you're golden. You're good to go. As long as you have that support system and you're with a company that you love and you trust and you're with the people that you love, then I mean, there's no stopping you. Yeah. So just put one step in front of the other. Like, don't try to go for the gusto. Don't be Courtney. Even me, like people are always like, they think I like go overboard and I'm like, go big or go home, get out of here. But the truth is on the day-to-day, it's those small, consistent steps that nobody sees. For sure. And especially in social, like in network marketing or social marketing, like the work that you see today won't even show up in your business for 90 days or years. Yeah. Like I have people come to me now after 4 or 5 years going, what's that glow shot? Can I get in on that? Like, what is that? Yeah. That looks good. Like we should do this, Yeah. But I mean, these are the same people that never spoke to me about it years before. Yeah. So it now takes something like 60 plus impressions. Oh, it's insane. I know. Like, it's just like rapid movement, right? Like there's so much competition. There's so much stuff that's like flooded. So it is about that relationship and it is about the value that you bring people. So it's not about the product. Like they're going to love the product anyway. They're normally good products. They're well priced, but it's about that relationship in between. And that's what you give them that's special. So if you're there and they know that you're there and they know that you know the products and they can trust you with it, they will support you. You care. You care. That makes a big difference. You care. Yeah. Well, Danielle, thank you so much for coming today. Can you share with my audience what's the best way for them to find you? And I'll put some links below as well. Sure. But how can they find you? So they can find me on Instagram. I think my name is we'll figure it out. D_LA07. It's like the worst name ever. I had someone tell me that like, you should just change it. And I was like, never. I'm gonna keep it. This is my thing. Or on Facebook. That's probably really it. My email, but I don't know that people use emails. Yeah, I love that. Well, thank you so much for coming today. I really appreciate it, especially since you're not 100%, but I think the fact that you show up shares a lot about you. So thank you, friends, for coming today, and we will see you next week. Bye for now.
Hey everybody, this is Joseph Asik and welcome to the Firedup Network. Welcome to the flagship show of the Firedup Network, Fired Up Live, and welcome to After Blaze. Yes, I didn't change. I got a nice haircut, but I didn't change. I'm not a lady now. All right. I know, Giselle, you were thinking about that. What's he doing on the Blaze? No, it's the After Blaze. All right. Do some things like this maybe once every 2-3 months because I need to have my say also. The president of the provinces of Canada, right? I'm going to tell you something. You guys don't know. My phone has been ringing off a hook here by some American with orange hair saying 2024, do you want to run with me? Do you want to run with me in 2024? And I go, listen, when you change your hair color from orange to a normal color and don't fire everybody, maybe. All right. Well, that's all I'm talking about in the States. Okay, that's all I'm talking about in the States. But you know what, ladies, here we're about a month away from Hanukkah, from Christmas. I'm gonna start with Giselle first, okay? Shauna, mark this down. Giselle, what do you want for Hanukkah? What do you want for Christmas? You gotta get to Hanukkah, you got 8 crazy presents, like Adam Sandler, right? But and Christmas. So pick 2 presents that you want, and I'll get the cheaper one. Shauna, get more expensive one. All right. So
Oh,
What do I want for Christmas? I definitely want a vacation somewhere with a beach.
all right, here. Wait a minute. I'll send you to Wasaga Beach. You want to go to Wasaga Beach?
As long as it's hot and there's sand, I'm down.
Well, maybe not hot, but there is sand. Maybe it's snow sand, but
No, it's gotta be hot. Gotta be drinking pina coladas by the waves, like something.
So now let me ask you a question. When's the last time you actually went on a vacation?
I want to say 2018.
And where was it?
Italy, I believe.
Italy. Wow. You had the Dollarichka to go to Italy. Wow.
Yeah.
What was the best thing you've seen in Italy? Don't tell me the Italians.
No, I did go to a winery and just seeing like everybody's individual wineries and just that view of the mountains and the hills, and you're just smelling like the fresh olives and like the wine grapes. Like that was really great.
All right, well, hold on. Now, I'm a connoisseur of wines, okay? Here, red or white?
Me personally, red.
Red. Shauna?
all of the above.
Yeah, just put on my cup, yo.
Whichever one you pass to me first, I'm pretty much there. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'll get back to Giselle in 1 second, and then Shauna. So if I gave you, here's a ticket, you choose anywhere in the world right now for Christmas, where would you go?
Where would I go for Christmas? Okay, well, I really want to go to Paris. It doesn't matter when. So I think at Christmas would be wonderful. I think it'd be just a cool trip.
You speak any French?
Un peu, oui, oui, yes. Mm-hmm. I would like bring my baguette, have a baguette.
All I heard in French is oui, oui. All right. So that's not French.
There you go.
That's Swahili.
Just oui, oui.
I would go to Paris because that's where I want to go. Like that's the place I want to go next. And so Christmas would be the next holiday, or the next holiday would be there for sure.
All right. And Giselle, same question to you.
Anywhere to go, like all expense paid?
Well, Shauna's paying for that. I said I just gave you a ticket.
I feel like, because mostly when I travel, I'm traveling for the food. And it's like a toss-up between India and South Korea.
India and South Korea. Wow. And Shauna, I have to ask you, where was your last trip?
I'm thinking here, just a sec. I think the last like really big trip I went on was to Jamaica, actually. Mm-hmm. But that was a while ago. Like, I mean, I've gone on mini trips and stuff like that, but like a real full-on trip would have been Jamaica for sure. And let me tell you, the food was amazing in Jamaica too. Like it was.
Yeah.
What was the best food you had in Jamaica? Saltfish? What?
I just had the normal like jerk chicken. It's like it has a different taste to it because it's like right from there. You know what I mean? Like right on the side of the beach. And just, it was the best jerk chicken I've ever had.
Mm.
Hands
Giselle,
down.
should we give her some champagne cola or what?
Yeah, man.
You see? Have you ever had champagne cola? Not bad for a Jewish guy, eh? Not bad. But, have you ever had champagne cola or what?
I don't know what are you talking
Okay,
about?
never mind.
What?
All right. She doesn't. Do
Is
you want
it alcohol?
to?
If it's alcohol, then I'm down.
No,
It's not alcoholic.
it's more like root beer. All right. So
Got it.
That's
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Okay. You're, keeping on the holiday tradition or whatever, I'm going to go back to Giselle here. Giselle, what was the best present for Christmas that you got, and what was the worst?
Is this like all of my years, like even kids, even when I was a kid?
Yeah, all your 26 years. Go ahead.
See, this is so hard for the worst gift. I remember getting socks as a kid, but now as an adult, if I get socks, I'm like, ooh, are they ankles? Are they like yeahs? What's going on? So weird.
So if anybody here who's watching on the Fired Up Network, you could send some socks here. It's like $3. Go to the dollar store. $3. Look, you make her happy there. Come on. All right, Shauna, what was the best and worst present you got?
Okay, best present was an Easy Bake Oven because I was obsessed with that. And I remember jumping up and down and screaming when I saw that I got it. So that would have been my favorite childhood present, but I have a favorite adult present too, actually. My favorite adult present is a professional camera. I got my first Canon. And I was so excited too. Like I was jumping up and down just like I was with the Easy Bake Oven. Like it was just, so those are probably the best. Now worst. That's a toughie,
Yeah.
I haven't really gotten any bad gifts, to be honest with you.
Okay, so we're keeping on this holiday theme here
Yeah.
for a couple more seconds. All right. What is your tradition, Shauna? I'll start with you. What is your tradition? Your family, you have a daughter, a lovely daughter there. What is your tradition? And has your tradition changed by having a daughter? Do you take her to the same place where you sort of started out with your family and everything like that?
Well, the traditions are the same. Like we do the same kind of thing on Christmas Eve and Christmas. We have a gathering on Christmas Eve, like a dinner, and then we usually have another dinner on Christmas Day. And all of those traditions are the same. But the thing is, I'm originally from Wolfville, Nova Scotia, of course, small town Nova Scotia. So a lot of the places that I grew up with, I can't really take my daughter to, but I would like to take her one day. And I think that would be amazing. Because the town that I'm from is such a quaint little town that it's almost like living in like the old days, like, those olden day Christmas movies you see where like people are walking around caroling and it's literally like that. It's crazy. We call it Happy Town because it's just like, it's like an imaginary place almost. So I would really love to take her there. But yeah, we do the same traditions, but it's not, of course, in the same places. And I'd love to show her those places that I used to do those with, though. A lot of fun.
So, yeah. Shauna, for you, you're a singer, okay?
Yes.
So Christmas time, and Mariah Carey's coming here in a couple of weeks. Giselle's going to the concert. And
yeah.
Are you, Giselle?
Probably.
I hope you are.
Of course. I gave her the tickets. I gave Shauna tickets. I gave you. Shauna, where were you? We raffled it away. Anyways, do you sing any Christmas songs for like family gatherings, or what is your favorite Christmas song?
Oh, okay. My favorite Christmas song is "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas."
Sing a tune. Since I mentioned you're the world famous Shauna Brown, the label of Sony Music now, fresh start. Check it out. See,
yes,
I'll give you a promo with her. Come on.
Definitely, thank you. Yeah, because it starts so nicely. It's like, "Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Maybe your tides can hang a shining star on the highest bough." That's you're gonna love this song.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
Giselle, you're right. She doesn't know this. You just text me. By the way, we had a Fresh Start concert. We're gonna have a Christmas concert now in December. All right.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes, Shauna, you're gonna sing.
Here,
And
There you
we
go.
promised in August a duet. Giselle's gonna be on there. Giselle, you're gonna be on there. Look what when she was singing, you were like that. You could do that. Come on, you could do that.
I'll be there listening for sure. I ain't singing though.
That's it. So that was terrific there. That
Yeah.
was terrific there.
Thank
I
you.
have my classic favorite songs too. Like that goes on like at least once a day or once
Just
every 3 hours.
Is that your
feeling you
favorite
get.
song also, Giselle?
Pardon?
Is that your favorite song also?
Yeah, that's definitely played every Christmas for me.
So listen. I'm gonna tell you. Come on, we gotta give every religion. Do you know any Hanukkah songs or what? Come on, Adam Sandler.
Are you talking? Oh, me?
Yes.
Perfect time for
I don't know any Hanukkah songs, but I could say, Monica, have a happy Hanukkah.
That's what I said, Adam Sandler. I think he's got 5 renditions of it. 5 renditions of it now. So
Yeah, there
and
you go. There you go.
like I said, the last day Hanukkah this year is December 18th to December 25th. The last day of Hanukkah is actually on Christmas. Usually never happens. And by the way, Kwanzaa also. So all these religion, it's end of November, December, and you find it. I'll ask you guys this question, starting with Giselle. You find it. People are more cheerful. People are more helpful during the month of December. Come January 1st, they cut you off again and all that, but they hold the door open December and a little bit more pushy in the malls. They're trying to get my Hanukkah Christmas presents. By the way, I'll tell you off air what I want. Okay, I expect both of you to come up big time this time. And Shauna, spend a little bit more of the green now. Now that you're making it from Sony, you're spending more of the green. Not on me, on Giselle there. Okay, but here. Do you guys? I'll start off with Giselle. Do you guys have a long list of who to buy, what to buy, or every year you have like 4 people only to buy?
I don't. I usually just stick to family.
I'm your
And
family.
maybe, and if there's like any kids in my vicinity that I happen to go see, because like I feel like Christmas and gifting is mostly for children now. And then it's definitely one of those conversations I'll have friends be like, so are we exchanging gifts this year? Because I hate it when your friend buys you something, then you're like, I didn't know. And now you feel like, crap, I got to get you something.
Yeah,
So I definitely love that. Are we exchanging gifts this year for Christmas? And I think this year we did have this discussion. I think we're doing, I'm doing Secret Santa with a group of my friends.
and
So I know one.
is this Christmas? I'll start again with Shauna. This one is this Christmas a little bit different because it looks like we're finally gonna go and you could visit people and all that. Knock on wood that Ford doesn't come and say mask and he's gonna cancel everything again. You never know because now they're saying more mask again. You gotta wear mask. You gotta do this. Meanwhile, he says it. He says it on Monday. The guy says everybody should wear a mask, but Tuesday the legislator nobody's wearing a mask. Figure that one out. But Shauna, go ahead.
Very confusing messages there. Very confusing.
Stick to wearing masks, especially if you have like a cold or a flu, because I've noticed now that it goes around less. Just if you're sick and you got to go to work, put on a mask. Like you keep your virus to yourself. Like it totally helps.
I've been wearing a mask to school when I pick up my daughter. Everybody looks at me funny because nobody's wearing masks anymore, but it actually really helped a lot. And of course, I spent all this money on masks, so I might as well wear them.
That and it keeps your face warm during winter now. Did we forget this part of COVID?
Yeah,
where it's like negative something, you have on a little mask and at least your face.
Yeah, it actually does keep your nose warm. It's better than wearing one of those like full-on masks. You could look like you're gonna like go rob a bank or something, you know? Like you got this thing on your face, and it's great. So it's good.
Both of you guys say Rudolph approves of the mask, right? Rudolph. All
Most
right.
definitely.
So let me ask you these questions here, okay? When we talk about Christmas, I'm going to say Christmas, Hanukkah, all these holidays during let's say the month of December, okay? What's your favorite thing about not even Christmas. It may be going and buying presents, going and receiving or getting presents, or the feast, making the food, or going to people's houses and eating. Oh wow, I didn't eat this in a long time, and all that. Sean, I'll start with you.
My favorite thing. Well, my daughter brings so much joy to me for Christmas. I mean, just seeing her doing everything, some things for the first time, some things for, the seventh or eighth time or whatever, just seeing her and the happiness that she has and the light in her eyes is like my favorite part of it all. It just makes it so much more enjoyable for me and meaningful. And for some reason, I really love getting out there and feeling the spirit when people are out there doing things. I know that sounds funny. Some people don't like to be out in the crowds and things, but I actually really like it because I feel people getting in the spirit and getting ready, and I kind of feel that energy in the air. And that's one of the things I really love too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is also true. Like, it's like that whole spirit, you get like that kind of tingly feeling when you're going around as Christmas, and like, oh, Christmas miracle.
Mm-hmm.
But one of my favorite times for Christmas is when you get that time off from work and you're just home.
Yeah.
Just eating, and you're just eating with your family, eating, drinking, watching TV, making
Hold on, Giselle, hold on.
Like you're
now that you said you have time off from your work, but you don't have time off here. Giselle's going to start all Christmas week hosting here on the Fired Up and Fem Network, right?
Huh?
Let's say what now?
All right. So being Jewish, and I always hear this during Christmas, eggnog. Okay, can you tell me? I never had it. Can you tell me what is eggnog and why people are crazy just this week? They're like end of December for eggnog.
I am not a fan of eggnog. I know it's got raw eggs in it. That's it.
Yeah. It does have eggs in it, and it's like a mixture of eggs and milk, and there's like some sort of spice in there too. Like I think they put
I guess like cinnamon or something. My mom used to make it every year, and then somebody would come over and put rum in it, and I'm like, who boozed up the egg?
Yeah. I personally I like eggnog. But it's definitely an acquired taste. Like I remember growing up, it was always me and my dad who liked the eggnog, and like nobody else in the family liked it. So we would just be like, okay, well, let's just do our eggnog thing. And
definitely copious amounts of milk.
So we talked about eggnog. Now another thing for Christmas or for the holidays is chocolate. And almonds and pistachios and nuts and all that. Okay. What is your favorite chocolate? Is it Turtles because they move so slow and you like them? Come on. But the Shoppers Drummer has it on a sale now, by the way. All right. So go ahead, Giselle. Is it Turtles? What is it?
It's definitely Turtles. Whenever they go on sale, my sister always gets like that huge box and just sits there, and she just hides and eats it. And whoever finds it finishes the box for the other one, get their hands on the bottom. It's just like, oh my gosh. That and Toblerone, the triangle chocolate. Yeah. Those are the top chocolates in my house during Christmas.
And what about you, Shauna?
Well, I personally like these chocolates called Toffee Fay. Do you know what I'm talking
those
about?
are good too.
The hazelnut, and then they've got like the caramel on the outside and the chocolate on the top. Okay.
Yeah, those are
good. If
good.
you have put a box of those near me, I will totally go through that box. I will eat that. But the first layer will be gone in like 5 minutes. It's so good.
Those are pretty dangerous.
But why do you think it's only for Christmas? Like throughout the year, people are not buying Turtles or Toblerone or whatever. They're still in the stores, but they're not buying it like in bulk.
There's also that box of chocolate. What is it? We always see it at Shoppers, and it's like random, and it only comes out during Christmas, and everybody gives it as a gift, but nobody eats like
Ferrero Rocher.
Not Ferrero Rocher. It's in the box. Something's like a gold box.
Yeah, gold.
That box, and you eat like 1 or 2 chocolate out of it, and the rest just sits there because they're all some random ass flavors.
After 8.
Are you talking about Quality Street?
I think so.
They have all the different ones, like
yeah, and everybody gets it for a gift for Christmas, and then you like eat 1 or 2, and then it just sits there.
Yeah, because there's like they have the orange ones in there, and they have like the kind of the strange ones, and then they have the good ones too, and those always go like really fast.
Yeah, there's only 1 or 2 of the good ones, and everything else is like some bitter dark orange, and I'm like, what is this? Like,
yeah. And like pot of gold is really good too.
Pot of gold,
yeah.
So as you know, Christmas and on holidays marks also the end of the year. Okay, so let's look back at 2022. God, I look better now than I did when I started. All right, so that's number one, president. Okay, but what did you accomplish, Giselle? I'll start with you. What did you accomplish in 2022, and what have you yet to accomplish, which you have a month to do?
Ooh, what have I?
You know what? For a guy who
That's a hard
normally doesn't host shows, I'm bringing up the questions now, man.
Yeah, because this is
You
like
are.
this is a hardy one. Like, what have I accomplished this year? I don't even know. Like, I'm horrible at keeping track.
You want me to tell you? I'll be your spokesperson. Ask
Gotcha.
me the question.
What have you accomplished
No,
this
not
year?
me, not me. You, Joe. What have I? Never mind, Giselle. You are one of the ladies on the Fem Network, female empowerment movement, who's been on here almost every show of the Blaze, on the After Blaze, on even basketball. Sooner or later, I'm going to put you on wrestling and lacrosse. All right, that's what you have accomplished. What you haven't yet accomplished is to be on wrestling and lacrosse. There you go.
There you go.
There you go. All right, Donna, say
When you're looking at it differently.
Well, I will being work and
words. Come on, that's what she accomplished.
okay. I'm very proud of the fact that I got Giselle to come downtown with me and go to the Alice in Wonderland experience.
That was a good one.
I think that was an accomplishment.
Shauna, you want to help? You want me to help you? Okay, Shauna, you were one of the only people who did a concert independently on the Femme Fired Up Network, and that was in August. What you're going to do again? What you haven't done a Christmas concert, and hopefully we'll talk about this because I know I'm throwing this out there and all that. You're surprised there, and look at all the stuff here. Giselle is really excited to play the tunes and everything like that with you. But honestly, you guys have been a big part of Fired Up and Femme, and I just want to say thank you for that. And I'll get you both Christmas presents, $5 gift card to the dollar store or something. All right.
Okay.
So you mentioned holiday season. I'll start with Shauna here. Okay. And knowing that you have a daughter here, you must have something planned for the holiday season because the kids have 2 weeks off, I believe, from December 23rd to January 8th or something like that. So what do you have planned? I know your daughter's not watching and all that. So, and if she is, edit it out. Don't worry.
Yeah. No, she's upstairs. That's okay. Well, her birthday is coming this weekend, so I'm going to be planning that.
Wait, hold on. Her birthday's this weekend. Giselle, you know what she has asked me?
What?
She has asked me she wants to hear Giselle sing.
Yes.
Who said that?
Didn't your daughter ask me? Shauna, didn't your daughter ask me?
I believe she did.
You got to give a kid the birthday present.
Y'all talking some smack.
She said it would really, really make her birthday special if Giselle would sing happy birthday to her.
All right.
That's what she said. That's
I don't know,
the only thing she wants for her birthday.
I've been known to bust eardrums that way. I don't know.
Oh, good.
I got
two of them. You bust one. I still have another one. Go ahead. The kid asked for it. Giselle, come on.
Yes, there you go, Giselle. Come on now.
Oh no, I'm not about to embarrass myself all over there. No.
Well, you know what I want to do, besides the normal thing that we usually do every Christmas, like our traditions, I really want to go skating at the Bentway, because they have that located downtown, and it's such a cool spot. And my daughter, she knows how to skate now. She's been taking skating lessons. And I just think it'd be so fun to just go skating there right before it gets a little bit dark with the lights and the city around it. So I definitely want to do that during her break.
Honestly, I gotta check that. I remember getting a pair of skates just to be like, I'm gonna do more skating. And I'm like, I don't see if I still have those. Because that's actually like something to like go out there and do when it's outside and it'll be fun. And it's like, whatever. Yeah,
it's like really in the spirit of things, right? Mm-hmm. I think the last time I went skating was in Nathan Phillips Square, actually. Mm-hmm. And I ended up renting skates because I moved from Nova Scotia and I couldn't bring my skates. Like I had to I couldn't pack everything. It was crazy. Yeah. So And I had a really great experience there too. I haven't taken my daughter there yet either, so maybe that's another place we could go. It could be like a skating fiasco. You know?
So
Yeah.
we got a couple minutes left here, so I'm going to ask you this. Like I mentioned, the holiday season, but also part of the holiday season, New Year's Eve. I know Giselle is a party animal. She's a party animal. She drinks eggnog. She drinks red wine. She eats turtles. All right, turtles. Yeah, okay. What do you have planned for this New Year's Eve? You're all right. You're going to host a show on the Fired Up Network like last year. Wow. All right.
I was thinking, what is the least laborious thing to do on New Year's Eve?
By the way,
somewhere and do nothing.
By the way, New Year's Eve, if you look at the calendar, is a Saturday night. Saturday night, December 31st, Leafs play the Stanley Cup champions, Colorado Avalanche, but let's not talk about that. But Saturday night, what do you do on a Saturday night, Giselle?
I'm not going to lie. I've worked every New Year's Eve before pre-COVID. Like every New Year's Eve I'd worked and then I'd have to show up somewhere New Year's Day. Like I've always worked. So now it's just like it's Saturday. I'm pretty much not going to be working. Like something Fritz and I'm just like, what can I really do? Like, where is there to go? Like, what do people do on New Year's Eve?
You know what they do? You know what they do, right? They tune in to the Fired Up Network to watch you on the Blaze singing songs for Shauna's daughter. All right?
Yes.
Now, Shauna, you're a lady of the town here. You've been, you're a singer, you're a musician. You went to with Giselle to, where did you go to? Frozen or whatever that
Alice in Wonderland experience, girl.
Yeah, Alice in Wonderland experience.
Frozen.
Let it go. Sing that. All right. Now, what are you doing this New Year's Eve? Considering this is probably the first New Year's Eve in 3 years that you can actually go to City Hall, to Nathan Phillips Square, to wherever, and actually not worry.
I haven't really thought about it, but I want to do something really fun. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
Like I need to get out there and do something. I know they used to have stuff happening at the Liberty Grand. And I always heard about that and I never got to go out there. But if they do have something there this year, I think that would be really cool to check out.
Well, Liberty Grand, the only thing I know is Medieval Times right beside there. There you go.
And then I could go to Medieval Times in the afternoon first.
Thereafter. Get a little horse show going.
Yeah, like with my beer stein thing that they give you and make it a whole day, But yeah, if they do have that, I'd like to check it out. I think that'd be kind of interesting. But I am going to have a good time this year. And I want you guys to have a good time too.
Hold on. This is an actual great question. All right. Comes from Marty Roberts. Wants to know, people sort of, get married on New Year's Eve or propose on New Year's Eve or all that, right? First of all, he's asking, do you think proposal on New Year's Eve is okay or not? And how would you guys like to be proposed to? I'm taking notes because a proposal may be coming very soon on my end to somebody here.
Ooh.
Yeah. I would never want to be proposed to or propose to somebody on a holiday or something like that. Because it's just now you just, if it doesn't work out, you're just thinking about that every holiday. That's just cementing in there. Then it's also being if you're around a group of people, now you're just taking away, it's no longer a party for everybody. Now it's just a party for you. And it's just it's a weird thing. I'd rather have something really unexpected and spontaneous.
So you'd rather have it on August 30th?
Not on my birthday either. It just be what if it's a random okay, so it's March 4th and we just got a weekend away for somewhere. That would be a nice surprise. We went away on the weekend, you planned this really nice romantic weekend, which I thought was us going out.
What is a romantic weekend for you? Let me hear this one.
Well, I feel it's just the surprise of somebody being I want to spend my life with you would be romantic enough. You're just not expecting it. Because I've seen I feel because of YouTube or just Instagram, there's been such elaborate engagements or proposals being somebody's just sitting there busted as hell, not knowing what's going on. All of a sudden is, will you marry me? And then your whole family pops up and it's just oh my God, that's kind of cool.
And why? I'm gonna, Sean, I'll ask you that, but
Mhm.
why don't they renew the vows on, New Year's Eve? Everybody sort of, you hear this. I guarantee you, if you take 100 people, probably 15 or 16 would do it on New Year's Eve. Okay, but why don't people renew the vows? On you hear people, oh, it's about time we renew the vows. By the way, New Year's Eve. All right, New Year's Eve. I know Jennifer Lopez is busy. She has one boyfriend, two boyfriend, three boyfriend, four boyfriend. So who she picks which one, right? She picks which one. All right, but that's besides the point. But Shauna, what do you say to you about New Year's Eve and about proposing, about not proposing, about most romantic things?
Right. Okay. So on any holiday, I say it's a no-no. Just because, first of all, you want to celebrate as much as you possibly can. So why would you celebrate two things on one day? Like, spread it out, make it a different day, make it
So
some
on
another
that
time.
note, people do it on Valentine's Day also. That's a no-no too, right?
Oh yeah, Valentine's Day is a no-no too. It's kind of
But
like the whole
Valentine's Day is
thing.
the most people propose on Valentine's Day the most.
I know, but I think for me personally, I'm the kind of person like, a guy gets you flowers for no reason, you're not expecting it. That kind of romance. And I think the same thing for proposing, like doing it spontaneously at a time when you're not expecting it, not during a holiday, not that type of thing. I think for some reason that's just way cooler. I mean, I'm not knocking people that do it. I mean, that's really nice if they do. But for me, I think I would want to have it like another day, just like some random day.
And like you're not expecting all of a sudden, like they flew in all of your family from like all over Canada or the States, something like that, and you're just thinking like, oh, I'm just going to my friends and we're having a barbecue. So you're sitting here in like your ghetto sweatpants and your hair is in a bun, just being like, yo, like we partying, we getting lit, like we just hanging out. And
the element of surprise is so much higher because you expect those things to happen on those holidays. And so you're not going to expect it on a random day. Right.
No.
Now, in terms of how I'd like to be proposed to, well, let me tell you. No. Okay. I always thought it would either be kind of cool. I like the whole like flash mob thing. I don't know. That would be kind of cool, but like not your classic flash mob, but like something really sentimental, sort of like a big thing. Or I've always dreamed about getting proposed to in Paris. In front of the
That's why she's going to Paris. You hear that? I don't know. Your boyfriend's listening to this.
I'm like, where's your Paris proposal?
Can you imagine getting proposed to in front of the Eiffel Tower? I think that'd be so romantic and cool.
It is. Is that being like the city of love? Like that would be like.
Yeah. But I think the best is just when you're feeling a genuine love for that person. I think that is the best. If you just know you have that connection, that outbeats anything. Right?
So another question here comes from Eric, and this is a great question. Does size of the ring matter? Giselle?
I don't think so.
So you could get, Eric, in other words, you want to go to People's Jewelers, get a $200 ring or get one of those pop rings or whatever, you can. According to Giselle, you can, right?
But it's one of those things where it comes down to living within your means. Like if you're expecting like a $50,000 diamond encrusted whatever ring, then you're dating somebody who has the means to buy that for you. Well, like if you're dating somebody and they only have the means to buy certain stuff, then you have to be prepared to being like, okay, you're like a blue collar worker. I'm not expecting you to take your savings of $10,000 to go buy me a ring. That makes no sense. Like you buying your ring within your means. And as again, if that ring means to be $200, okay, cool. Because at the end of the day, where are we going to live if you have a $10,000 ring? Like, who's paying for that?
See? By the way, we'll give away Giselle's number because just in case anybody wants to. All right. Shauna, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay. Don't they say they're supposed to spend, say, 5-6 months of their salary or something? Isn't that what it is?
Who says that?
I don't know. I've heard that.
So, Eric, I know you work here. You could spend 5 or 6 months of your Fired Up Network salary, all right?
No, but isn't that the regular? I think that's what they say. But so that makes sense with what Giselle was saying is if you are getting you're getting paid a certain amount, then you're going to want to stay within the means of that, right? Like, so that makes sense. But hey, I'm not going to knock it. Like, the bigger the diamond, the better.
But then again, does
I'm
it have
totally
to be?
joking.
Does it have to be a real diamond though? Because I like a really huge ass cube as zirconia, and it looks just like a diamond unless
I
you're
don't
into
know what it
jewelry.
is. Come on.
That's true. It doesn't have to be a diamond. And I think
Then there's also
it should be
gemstones.
something sentimental, though. Definitely.
Yeah.
Like the sentiment. If the sentiment is really there, then it's really not going to matter.
All right. As
Yeah.
we look forward to 2023, right?
Mhm.
We look forward to 2023, and hopefully, knock on wood, everything is sort of normal, back to life and all that. What? Just give me your New Year's resolution. Start off with Shauna. Give me your New Year's resolution. I know back in November, I'm going to ask you this in December,
Okay.
probably in January 3rd when you broke it or whatever. What is your New Year's resolution?
New Year's resolution. Okay. I would say try to slow down a little bit and enjoy the moment more while I'm in it. And also scheduling my life better, scheduling my time better, because there's so many things I want to do and I find it difficult to be able to schedule it all in. So I really want to get tight on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very good. What about you, Shauna? All right. Well, Giselle, sorry.
I feel like mine is going to be the exact opposite of Shauna's. I feel like I need to step it up a notch.
Kick it up a notch.
I feel like I need to be like, okay, so like you've done your, and I wonder if it's just like the post-COVID being like, I'm just taking my time to get back into groove of things instead of being like always on the go. Now I'm like, oh wait, maybe I need to be just a little bit more on the go, just a little. I think that would be a resolution. Like, can you just step it up a little bit?
Don't you
And
ride the
definitely
GO
the
train?
scheduling, because that would probably help me if I schedule better.
Don't you ride the GO train anyways? You're always on the go. Anyways, so Shauna, we'll close it out with you here. Tell everybody how they could get a hold of you, and then Giselle's going to sing happy birthday to your lovely daughter. Go ahead.
You heard it, Giselle. Okay, you can find me on Instagram at Shauna Brown Music 111. Also, my website, shaunamusic.com. And you can find me at Shauna Brown on all the other platforms. And check it out anytime. Reach out to me.
And remember, hopefully soon we're going to have a holiday concert with Shauna here. Last concert was great. It featured Chaclair. And it may feature Giselle, may feature Courtney, may feature Samia, may feature Martina, everybody from the Blaze. It won't feature Eric Cohen. Maybe Marty Roberts will drive the chauffeur and all that. But Giselle, it's your turn. Tell everybody how they could get a hold of you. And everybody is waiting with bated breath for happy birthday.
Well, you can find me on IG at Giselle.Lou, and that's all, folks.
That's all, folks. No, okay, here, Giselle. It's for her daughter. It's for her daughter. All right. So I'll do the duet with you. All right.
Oh.
I'll do. You know, when I sing "Boys to Men," take a listen. All right. So come on. Yeah, Boys to Men. Okay. Come on. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to. Come on, Shauna, you can join in. Happy birthday to
the birthday.
Go ahead. It's your birthday.
Happy birthday.
And then comes it.
Dear Alexia. Happy birthday to you.
And Alexia, your mother told me. Your mother told me she's gonna get you a present worth over $50. Thanks a lot, guys or ladies.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to The Slam. I'm your host, Martina. And today I have decided to do something a little bit different. If you are new, welcome back. Please, if that made no sense. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. So what what I'm going to be doing today, I'm going to switch things up a little bit. Previously, my channel is considered, my platform has been mostly me talking about my thoughts and my opinions and my predictions for wrestling and such. But today I've decided to do reactions. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of both, giving my opinions and my predictions for AEW Full Gear, which is going to be this Saturday. What's Saturday's date? Whatever Saturday's date is. I need to grab a calendar real quick. I believe it is Saturday the 19th. Saturday, November 19th is AEW Full Gear. It's a rare this year. I decided to do some reactions. So Wrestle Talk is a very popular channel on YouTube. Huge. They have over 820,000 subscribers. So massive channel. And I decided to do my reactions to their predictions. So I'm going to I've not seen this video. I don't know what they're going to say. So we'll see what they say. Basically, I'm going to see if I agree with their predictions because I have not seen this video. I just found one. I said I'm going to look for some AEW Full Gear predictions, and I'm going to react to it, and I'm going to see what people say. So I'm going to pull it up now, and I'm going to leave their information. Slide over. So I'm going to leave their information in the description box below the video. Please go subscribe. I want to say describe. Go subscribe to their channel and like, share, and subscribe to my channel as well, which is Wrestle Talk with Martina. And this is the Slam, which is on Firedup Network. So we're going to get going, and we are going to see how this goes. There we go.
And it is to be.
So, of course, I'm going to be pausing every so often to give my thoughts.
Me versus you for that belt this weekend.
I am making up for lost time defending this title. 2 defenses over the course of 1 weekend leading into Crown Jewel, and that was about a 4-month.
To be in it either, because it's the finals of the Eliminator tournament. So we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But we're going to kick things off with Luchasaurus versus Jungle Boy Jack Perry in a steel.
Okay, so they're giving, they're starting out with the first match. As I said, I'm going to be pausing every so often to make sure I don't get copyrighted. But the first match that they're going to be discussing is Jungle Boy Jack Perry versus Luchasaurus. We'll see what they say.
This match. AEW both times they've done them so far, and this is like a real hard for as a singles guy. He hasn't had that big singles win on pay-per-view yet in his career, and I would be shocked if it's not on this show.
Yeah,
they're gonna do a lot. It's a perfect like smoke and mirrors type match, a real come from behind underdog style match. I think it's going to be really good. It's one of the ones I'm most looking forward to on the show, honestly.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really, really good match. The story, I think, has suffered a little bit on TV, and I think Christian's injury
I agree with that.
Really has hampered this somewhat because they didn't really get to do a match at all out. They had to do an angle, and then that angle is sort of slow on TV.
I do agree with that. I do think that this storyline has suffered. I definitely was hoping they would do more with it. But I do see, let's see if I can move. Can I move myself a little bit? Yeah, I do. I see what they're saying. I agree with that. So we'll see what, basically they're saying that Jungle Boy versus Luchasaurus, this storyline has suffered, and I agree.
Sometimes not there. Like, I was kind of not over the story, but I was not massive. The Jungle Boy did that cross body to Luchasaurus on the ramp, and they fell over and like fell off the ramp through a bunch of, clutter down. And I was like, oh, cool. Well, I'm now back in, and I'm really looking forward to it. They've announced it's a steel cage match. Yeah, I'm kind of pumped for this.
I think Jungle Boy wins this match, and then they can separate the two for a while and have Christian maybe off TV for a little bit, and then once.
Yes, I agree with that. They need to go ahead and end this feud soon.
He's back and able to be cleared, then he can just come right back in, maybe cost Jungle TNT title shot or something like that, and then they go right back in and finally have the big blow-off match.
Yeah, I'm also predicting Jungle Boy to win this one as well, although I think we've now got to stop calling him Jungle Boy because they're very clear on commentary now. He is Jack Perry. Jungle Boy is just a nickname.
I know, but I like calling him Jungle Boy.
That is so like it just rolls off the tongue. He does Jungle Boy is Jack Perry altogether in his JR way.
But yeah, I'm also getting Jungle Boy on this one. Up next, speaking of things that have probably gone on for too long and are still on this card, though, it's Jeff Jarrett versus Sting. It's 2006 all over again.
I'm split on what I.
It is. I'm actually really surprised. I'm surprised. I think everyone was surprised to see Jeff Jarrett when he popped up. I said it in my last show, like, has anyone worked harder than Jeff Jarrett this year? He has been in Impact. He has been in WWE. He has been in AEW. He has been all around the world. He has fought Ric Flair. He has been everywhere. Like, that's a hardworking man. Let's see what they say. Of course, in this match, I'm going to have to root for Sting because I love Sting. I'm a Sting lifer, lifelong Sting fan. Woo!
Is going to happen here. If Sting and Darby Allin do not win this match, but I've also been saying that about every Jeff Jarrett pay-per-view match for pretty much his entire career.
And but stop feet.
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure they've not yet lost just a straight tag.
Yeah. I would have got to win here.
Yeah.
Like Jarrett for me, and I'm willing to be proven wrong on this one. And I will eat my words if I am proven wrong. But I've got to think that this is a one deal thing for Jarrett. Like he's been brought in for a back.
I agree. If Darby and Sting did not win this one, I would be shocked because, of course, Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett are the heels here, and they work abroad quite a bit. And we know Sting has been working abroad as well, working with the Great Muta, as is Shinsuke Nakamura is going to be working with the Great Muta in Japan. But I would be very shocked if Sting and Darby don't win this.
Backstage role, and he's doing the pay-per-view match thing, but we're not going to have Jarrett on the Revolution card or the Double or Nothing card or All Out next year.
No.
Like maybe he'll going to be in every pay-per-view thing like Sting currently is.
Mr. Stink.
Mr. Stink. Yes. It's, AJ Styles in TNA once said, "Stink, you're wrong." I think this is a one-time deal for Jeff, and in which case then I think it's Sting and Darby that get the win.
I agree. I'm gonna go with what makes sense, and that is Sting and Darby Allin to win this match. But if anybody on this show is going to come out of left field and just have a match that and a result that's gonna just the fence, I think they make more sense than others.
Up next for the AEW TBS Championship, it is the actual champion versus Nyla Rose.
Now y'all know how I feel about Jade. The only correct winner here is Jade. All due respect to Nyla, but Jade is my girl. I love me some Jade. I love her in and out of the ring. I love her look. I love her physique. I love her makeup. I love her hair. I love her gear. Like, she can do no wrong to me. And she's freaking undefeated. Like, if she loses to Nyla, that would be some complete tomfoolery. Complete and utter tomfoolery. And they better agree. Don't let me down, Wrestle Talk. We're 2 for 2. Let's see what they say.
Oh, I am your Jam That champion.
You certainly are.
And therefore, I get to the first choice.
Okay, here we go.
I'm going to make the big-brained decision. I'm going with Jade Cargill. Pick.
You don't think that Nyla Rose is the person that's going to dethrone Cargill streak.
Somehow I don't.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, so if you're new to this channel, please subscribe if you are new, of course. You get 1 point for a prediction, but on a title match you get 2 points. For your Joker pick, and you get one of those per paper, you get you double points. So you have quite smart play on. But of course, should Nyla Rose win, you will lose 4 points.
It's a lot of points to lose.
It really is.
That's why you
you will sure winning this match. Like, it is just...
I skipped ahead a little bit. They both went with Jade. Anyone saying anyone other than Jade is lying to themselves. Let's go.
100% winning this match. It might be one of the more emotional matches of the night, making her in ring return the absence away. Sir in a bit of a dream match with Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. If Britt Baker wins here, that's a huge win for Britt Baker. And Saraya can pick up the win in the return match.
If they have Saraya to lose her first match back in how many years? Good Lord. The anti... I can hear the wrestling fans. I can hear their fingers on the keyboard now. I can hear the rage if she loses her first match back. And not just her first match back, her first match physically, because she's been a manager, she's been, a sidekick, but her first match, I literally don't even know how many years, 4 or 5 years, however many years. Like, oh, Tony, please don't mess this up.
But winning it does nothing bad. Baker winning does so much for Britt, and it doesn't hurt Saraya in any way.
I'm tempted to have this one where we both take a different one.
That's what I was gonna say. I was honestly just gonna pick the opposite of what you picked.
Yeah. Well, in that case, I think I'm gonna go with Britt Baker.
Cool. I'll take Saraya then. I'm happy with either one. I'm probably more confident in Saraya than I am Baker, so I'm actually pretty happy that it's gone around that way. But yeah, I was thinking like,
I have to disagree with them. Having Britt Baker win, I guess it could elevate her, but does it really elevate her? The only way I could see it really elevating Britt is if Saraya really puts on a really mean fight. But if it's a squash match and Britt wins, it doesn't do anything for her because she's already a massive heel. Saraya is already she's kind of doing the Cody Rhodes thing, the whole, I came back to prove myself, prove myself physically, because she said I've proven that I can be in this business, which she has, but she still has something to prove in terms of her physical ability with just now being medically cleared. So that's why I say kind of like Cody Rhodes. Cody went back to WWE to prove his ability to win the world title, and Saraya's she's kind of doing that same thing. She still has something to prove with physically proving she can be physical again, because we know she's been injured for some time. So if it's a squash match, it doesn't do anything for either of them. But if they really put on a slobber knocker, then maybe it could elevate Britt.
I think I can get 50.
The same every match.
No, which brings us to our next match here for the ROH World Championship. It is Chris Jericho, the champion, defending against former champion Bryan Danielson against former champion Claudio Castagnoli.
Y'all already know what I'm
Sammy
going to
Guevara,
say for this.
who is also there.
Yeah, y'all already know what I want to say for this. I'm very pro Chris Jericho. But in terms of this one, I have a feeling they're going to give it to Danielson.
Sammy Guevara, who is also there. I don't care.
Yeah, this one feels a bit off. Yeah, I really kind of enjoyed against the ROH guys type thing.
I enjoyed that.
He's had good matches with Danielson. He's had good matches with Bandito. He's had good
Dalton
matches.
Castle was great.
Dalton Castle with that incredible promo to set it up. You had Colt Cabana's return. There were a lot of really nice moments throughout this. And it felt like they just didn't have an idea for a big pay-per-view match. And they just went, nah, Put all the Blackpool Combat Club guys in there again. And
Yeah, this just feels like
Mhm.
filler before we get to God, what's the final one of these?
I do have to agree with that. That the choices of the entrants in this match does feel like filler. I do agree with what they said. I think Jericho has had some really, really good matches, as I feel like he pretty much always does. I feel like he's very reliable and consistent. And I know wrestling fans are very like dismissive of Jericho in recent years for a number of reasons. But like I've always said, like I'm a huge Chris Jericho fan. I have been since I was a little kid. So I would love to see him retain, especially since we know he's in the twilight of his career. Like he's 52 years old. He's not going to be around forever. I like to send people out with their flowers, just like I've said about Sting, just like I've said about, I'm pretty sure I've said that about The Undertaker. Like I like to send people out with their flowers, but people have been clamoring for Danielson to win a title. So I have a feeling they're going to put it on him.
Yeah,
See what
final.
they say.
I guess I'm picking Jericho.
I can't imagine they'll take the belt off of Jericho.
No.
I think he's he's the draw for Final Battle. They've got the title on a big name guy, and he's going to draw a good buy rate for Final Battle. I can't imagine they'll take it off of him before then.
He is.
I have him retaining this as well.
For the
they both said
interim
that. Okay, I'm
AEW's
surprised.
World Championship, it is the champion Tony Storm defending against Jamie Hayter.
Tony's hair looks so
Women's
cute.
World Champion.
Sorry, the interim women's world champion. I do apologize. Now, obviously, Thunder Rosa.
Let me just say something. I have said it once. I've said it twice. I've said it 1,000 times. Tony Khan, will you please take the the word interim out? Just remove it. Just take it away. Just delete it. As Matt Hardy would say, delete, get rid of it, let it go. Even Tony herself has cut a promo saying we need to get rid of this interim nonsense in her British accent or Australian accent. I'm pretty sure she's Australian. She's either Australian or British. Pretty sure she's Australian. They need to get rid of it because at this point, we haven't heard from Thunder Rosa in how long. Just get rid of the word interim. Like, no one is going to be mad if you get rid of the word interim. Just let that go. Delete it. Never use it again. For the men or the women, just let it go. Stop using it.
Is the Tony Storm are a short-lived tag team of Thunderstorm, so one would imagine that you're going to keep the belt on Tony Storm, so then you can then build to the title match, and then maybe Thunder Rosa drops the belt like she was reportedly supposed to have done at Forbidden Door, and Tony Storm is crowned as the women's champion. But Jamie Hayter's got massively over, and I really feel that the one thing we haven't done
right now
with an interim reign yet is have the interim champion lose.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say Jamie Hayter.
True.
Ooh,
I'm saying Jamie Hayter
wins. This
Jamie
one is
Hayter
tough
is very popular
because I think this is kind of one of those deals where you either go with your previous plan or you go with what the fans are telling you. And the fans have gotten well behind Jamie Hayter, as they should, because Jamie Hayter is awesome.
So good.
I think I'll go with Tony Storm, just for the sake of 50-50ing this thing and making the predictions a little bit more
spicy.
But I think Tony Storm could win it for the sake of, hanging on to the belt and facing Thunder Rosa.
The whole facing Thunder Rosa thing, I agree with what they just said. To this point, they have not had any of the interim champions lose, with Mox and Punk and now Thunder Rosa. But technically, they could. Well, they did a whole bunch of ping ponging. Remember earlier this year when it was Cody before he left, of course, when Cody was the TNT champ, and then it went to Sammy Guevara, and then it went to Scorpio Sky. They did so much hot potatoing with that title. But yeah, the fans have been very behind Jamie Hayter. So, I have said this once, I'll say it again. I don't think they've done enough of pushing Tony as an interim champion to begin with, because they have, how do I put this? Socially, they have put Saraya and Britt above this match. This match kind of feels like an afterthought. They don't get a lot of screen time. They don't get a lot of promo time. It's just the popularity seems to be with Saraya and Britt over the actual title holder, who is Tony. and the challenger, who is Jamie.
It's the right answer. I think this could go either way.
So you mentioned this earlier, but it is going to be the finals of the Championship Eliminator Tournament, the finals of which will take place
up a little bit.
And then
Okay, go back.
Rosa when she's back. I think that's entirely possible. Don't know if it's the right answer, though. I think this could go either way.
You mentioned this earlier, but it is going to be the finals of the AEW World Championship Eliminator Tournament, the finals of which will take place at Winter is Coming. As it currently stands at the time of this recording, it's Ethan Page or Bandito versus Brian Cage or Ricky Starks or Lance Archer. So we are looking at, let's say for the sake of argument, Ethan Page, Bandito, Ricky Starks, Brian Cage. I imagine Ethan Page beats Bandito, and I think Ricky Starks beats Brian Cage. So we end up with Page versus Starks.
I think so too.
And then Starks wins the whole thing. Yeah.
I almost...
Even though I feel like they need to push Brian Cage more, I don't know about Ricky Starks beating Brian Cage, but Brian Cage hasn't been picking up a lot of wins lately, despite being swole physically. Like if this were a physical, just basing this purely on physicality, Brian Page is twice the size of Ricky Starks. So you would think that it could be a squash match, but Starks has heart. He's tough and he's very athletic. So let's see what the rest of what they say here.
Most of it is one as possible combinations, or of all the matches that show, really, there aren't many that I'm more confident in. It's probably just the Jade match than having Ricky Starks get his big moment here. I think Ricky Starks is due for a really big win on pay-per-view. I think this could be it, especially after losing to Powerhouse Hobbs in like 5 minutes at All Out.
Such a shame.
Right.
This needs to be a big match and a big night for him.
For the World Tag Team Championships, it is champions The Acclaimed versus...
Everyone loves The Acclaimed.
Third match in the trilogy. What do you say? What do you think's happening?
What do you say?
Who do you think's winning?
Of all the ones on this show, this one is the biggest question mark to me. This is one where I literally have no clue what they're gonna do. I think it absolutely, they could just have the event and have another great match, really be there, flag in the ground, tag team. We're not just like, the one that's going to go into this 2 out of 3 best 2 out of 3 rivalry and lose 2 of them. No, we are the best. We are better than these 2, and maybe this is where they break.
After watching Dynamite tonight, if you haven't watched it, go watch the music video, which is basically just like a diss track, if we're keeping it real, a diss track that the Acclaimed put out against Swerve and Keith Lee, and the guys that they used in the video where they were dissing them. They look, first of all, they don't look anything like them. They don't look anything like Keith and Lee, other than just being a dude with locks and a heavy set dude. And it was very obvious who was supposed to be who, but it was just they comically looked nothing like Lee and Swerve. So I thought that was hilarious. So yeah, I agree that I'm not 100% sure which way this would go, because at All Out, Swerve and Our Glory won, and everyone was surprised. Everyone thought it was going to be the Acclaimed, and then the Acclaimed won. So yeah, the 2 out of 3 thing, I think this could go either way, because what I think, I'll give my prediction ahead of what they say. I think they need to go ahead and split up Lee and Keith, or not Lee and Keith, but Swerve and Keith. They need to go ahead and split them up and either put them with new people or have them be individuals, because that dissension has been brewing for months and months. Like they, what was it? I don't even remember what it was, where Swerve eliminated Keith and then they were beefing for 2 seconds, then they reconciled, and now the tension's there again. I'm like, they need to just go ahead and have Swerve go ahead and do a full heel turn and let them go their separate ways. And so I'm thinking if there's a betrayal there, then that could be the way that the Acclaimed steals the victory. So what do they say? What y'all say? Give it to me.
Gives spare arm to Swerve to be like, look, we're done now.
Yeah.
I'm sick of your
Hold on, let's back up just a little
I'm
bit.
sick of your heel shenanigans, and I'm done.
Could well be.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Basically saying the same thing I just said.
So I'm going to go with the acclaimed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go for the acclaimed
50-50.
retention here. And I
50-50.
really could see it going either way.
Yeah.
I really could. And I think that then brings us to
This one
our
is a
main
bit of a
event
wild card.
of the AEW World Champion Jon Moxley defending against the Casino Ladder Match champion of MJF.
Mm-hmm.
So my big prediction for this on an
Mhm.
AEW review a couple of weeks ago, and it is the prediction I'm going to stick with here, and I'm going to say this now as my main event.
Mm-hmm.
MJF wins when William Regal
Absolutely.
Oh, that's
Yep. What he just said, I completely agree. They've been sowing seeds of this. If you've been watching and paying attention, honestly, even if you're watching on mute, even if you're watching and just have the TV playing while you're doing other things around the house or something, you can tell from William Regal's body language, he is clearly going to turn. From the promos that he has done lately, to just the way that he's standing and looking at Mox while he's cutting his promos, to the way that he's been acting during MJF's promos when they put the camera on him, he's clearly going to turn. And I think that is going to be truly a sight to see. I tweeted earlier, if they do not put the title on MJF now, I don't think they ever will. Like, what will be the point? Like, they will be missing such a huge opportunity. I have been rooting for MJF to be champion for a long time. I feel he's an AEW original. He's the best heel in wrestling right now. Dare I say, even a better heel than Roman in the sense that he's just so diabolical. And he's, his mic ability, even his in-ring ability has improved quite a bit. I think he's always been good on the mic, but his in-ring ability has improved as well. Even his physical stature, like seeing him now, he's a lot more swollen, jacked than he was when he was before his what's the word? I don't want to use the word sabbatical. His absence earlier this year between All Out and now, or even prior to. We'll say his pipe bomb, the MJF pipe bomb versus now, he looks like his physical stature is like a different person. So if they do not put the title on him, they will be fumbling the bag like I've never seen. I think he's right that way. I think William Regal's going to turn. If William Regal doesn't turn, that will be another thing. I will be shocked. Absolutely shocked.
And it's
breaking up a little bit.
And that's how
he said brass knuckles.
Regal hands MJF the brass knucks. And that's how how MJF wins the belt. And Regal teaches him how to be a true villain. Regal loves being a bad guy. He did say
he's the original gentleman's villain.
Proper gets a boner for being a baddie. So I think that's how you do this big MJF thing. This babyface turn is a big swerve, and the night ends with Regal turning on Mox. So that's my stake in the ground. I'm going with MJF to win the belt here.
That's very fun. I like that a lot. Because again, it's not a swerve in the sense of, oh, you're just doing something that people don't expect. No, that would play into the entire storyline here. That would make perfect narrative sense with everything that they've done with these two. That's very fun. I think MJF needs to win this match. I think this time, if he loses this match,
it is.
I'm really going to be baffled. I think Moxley has earned himself his vacation.
Yeah, he really has.
To go on.
Right.
So
right.
I think MJF wins it.
It's true.
I'm not 100% certain on the heel-face alignment coming out of it, but if Ricky Starks wins that Eliminator tournament and MJF goes full bad guy with Regal behind him, that's very fun. And I think that'll make for some really good promos leading into Winter is Coming for MJF versus Ricky Starks, and a really good main event match there. I like that a lot. I'm going MJF.
So all that comes down to is, what is my Joker pick?
Yeah, what is your Joker pick?
So obviously I'm going to probably pick a title match because that makes the most sense. So I can either do MJF, I could do the Acclaimed, do Storm, or
So yeah, I'm gonna have to go ahead and stop it there. But yes, I completely agree with what they just said. I think that for them to not put the title on MJF now would be ridiculous. And Like they said, Mox was supposed to take a vacation, but then Hangman got injured. And so he's definitely deserving of a vacation. I didn't even think about that aspect. That's another thing. Let's see what they say about this Joker.
Good. Sorry, Jericho.
What do you say, Wrestle Talk?
I know which one I'd pick.
Yeah, I mean, Jericho's is the easy one. I feel like if I'm gonna win this belt, I want to win it on a Hail Mary.
Oh.
And I really feel like I want to win it with Hater. I want to win it with my 100% getting forward with Jade Cargill. I'm going with Jamie Hayter.
Yeah, so they're so that was me basically doing predictions based off of what Wrestle Talk says. And I think they're pretty spot on with their justifications and their reasoning. I think we're going to see MJF walking out with the title, and because of course that's the main event, that's the world title match. But I also do have a question of where does the firm, W. Morrissey and Stokely and all them, I think they're going to somehow get involved in this as well. But because of course MJF is basically like, I don't need y'all, on my own. It'll be interesting to see how they play into it, because I think there's going to be lots of interference in this match, but I think MJF is going to come out on top. So those are my all-out predictions and my reactions featuring Wrestle Talk. Subscribe to their channel, subscribe to my channel, like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know your thoughts below in the comments below. If you agree with my predictions, if you disagree, tell me why. I'd love to know more. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Like, share, and subscribe. You can catch me on Firedup Network. I'm on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Everywhere is at SlamHostMartina. I definitely forgot to put my handle there, but at SlamHostMartina. And Wrestle Talk, there's Wrestle Talk. My YouTube, Martina Talks Wrestling. Follow me there, and all my links are in the description box below. And Firedup Network, follow Firedup Network, follow the Fem Network. I'm on there as well. I'm everywhere, y'all. I'm on the Fem Network. I'm also on the show The Blaze, and you can catch me on the Matt podcast on there. I'm everywhere you want to be when it comes to wrestling. I'm always giving my predictions, always giving my 2 cents. And speaking of which, if you would like to be on the channel, if you would like to come on the show, Slam Host Martina, find me, DM me, message me, email me. Let's set it up. I'd love to have people on the show to have their thoughts. And there's a channel or person that you would need to do reactions for. You're like, hey, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Send me their information. I might just do a reaction video to their thoughts as well, because I'm always looking for ways to switch up my content. And I love hearing opinions. So let me know what you think, guys. Thanks for stopping by. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.